Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the Tuesday NBA slate for DraftKings and Fanduel. We have a three-game playoff slate today starting at 7:30. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully, you guys all had a great, nice Memorial Day weekend and are back at it into the DFS if you took some days off. But let's get started here at point guard with James Harden at 10-6. LeBron is $9,800. Harden dropped 23 and 18 last game. Not only did they win by 15 and not only did they put up 141 points, but all three of the big three absolutely crushed value, and they all played huge minutes. So normally you'd expect that when they score 141 points, that game to just be blown out, and the starters to play like low 30s, high 20s. But the Celtics didn't go away in the fourth, still kept it within close enough to where Steve Nash just kept the starters out there. LeBron is $9,800. He's going to be playing without Davis tonight, who's unlikely to play. He's just going to have to take a step up offensively and get some more rebounds. If they decide to go small here, LeBron might shift down a position and play some more power forward instead of small forward. And then I'd rather play like LeBron at small forward, I would say, because point guard, you do have a lot of options, whether it's James Harden or whether you go to like a Kyrie Irving at $8,800, who had a big game in Boston. Game 4, the entire Nets big three did. They put up so many points and so many like rebounds, assists. They were just doing everything for the team. Irving shot 6 of 12 from distance. I expect the Nets to be able to close out the Celtics tonight without Kemba Walker. But my favorite point guard play has got to be Chris Paul. I was a bit cautious with him the last few games. He looked pretty healthy last game, and he only played 32 minutes as well. So that was nice to see that. Even at limited minutes, he still played. I mean, he still put up 41. If he's feeling better today at another couple days, maybe get that shoulder back, right? And back at home here without Davis, this is their son's chance. If they want to, take another game, they got to take this one, because if Davis is back for game 6, it's going to be a lot tougher for them to win. I expect the Suns to play Chris Paul huge minutes, especially if he's healthy, and he looked pretty good last game, and the price tag has suddenly dipped to 66, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And then Marcus Smart also is a great play, $6,500. Without Kemba Walker, you just see Marcus Smart take on the point guard role. He's going to get you a lot of assists. He's a good defensive player, can get you a couple steals. He's going to shoot a lot of threes and get you some rebounds. So basically a do-it-all kind of guy. Last few games, he's been hitting value with 41, 38, 37. 2 out of those 3 were with Kemba Walker, and now that he's out again, expect a similar role for Marcus Smart that he had last game, where he just played 34, was in some foul trouble, and the game wasn't that close at the end. But expect if this game is somehow within like 15 points, that Smart plays like high 30s in minutes. So if we're like Marcus Smart, you can play him at shooting guard. Point guard is loaded, so I think you can go shooting guard instead if you wanted to. Other guys at point guard besides Chris Paul and Marcus Smart that I like are Morris at 45, just because he's been playing good minutes off the bench, like mid-20s, low 30s. Expect something similar today back at home in Denver. Saw Rivers play well in that game 3. He had that led them to the victory with a big fourth quarter. Normally, he's just going to take a couple of shots a game. He's not a very high-volume shooter. Probably take like 5-6 shots tonight. I think I like Morris a little bit more than Rivers. Then you have Dennis Schroeder, who looks great because he goes from being the third option to being the second option without Anthony Davis tonight. He's only $5,800, so he looks great. I'll probably side Campazzo as well. I like him a little bit more than Schroeder just because he's a guy that gets you like points, rebounds, assists. Also a great defensive player with the steals. This entire series, he's racked up multiple steals except for one. He's averaging 2 steals per game, or over 2 steals per game in this series. At home here in Denver, a guy that can put up high 30s and low 40s in fantasy points. He's another guy that I want to get to. I'll plug him in at the guard spot. Oops, all those guys jumped in. Plug him in at the guard spot here. Over at shooting guard, I like Marcus Smart a lot. You can go up to a Kyrie at $8,800. You have Evan Fournier, who looks appealing just because he's going to have to step up offensively and hit some more shots. And then KCP, if he does play, he looks fine at $3,800 just because he's cheap. Plays good minutes. Probably play some more minutes today without Davis. And then you have Langford, who's going to play in the mid to high 20s in minutes. Not the most gifted offensive player. He's going to shoot a few times. He's on the season. He's only shooting like 35% from the floor, 28% from distance. You'll play some run, but I think if Payne Pritchard is playing better off the bench, they will side with him and play him a lot of minutes, and he's only 32, so I like Pritchard more than Langford. Small forward, a lot of options here. You have Durant, LeBron, Porter as your top 3 guys. I have to go LeBron today. I like Durant as well. Durant's been awesome this whole series. He's been ultra efficient. He's been their like most consistent shooter, 70%, 54, 67, 40%. He's been super efficient, not only shooting the ball, but getting your rebounds, hitting his threes. All around great play. His price tag is over 10,000. And then you have LeBron, whose price tag is only $9,800 without Davis. Just going to have to do everything for the team if they want to win. It's going to be tough for the Lakers in Phoenix without Davis, possibly without KCP. But they're really going to need LeBron to step up, which is why I like getting to him at $9,800. Michael Porter also looks fine, 7,000. He's behind LeBron and Durant, just based on the price tags. And then for value, it's Jay Crowder stepped up. You have Kyle Kuzma at 46. And then you have Bruce Brown, who was one of the only value plays that hit value for the Nets in that game, last game against Boston, where he put up 26 off the bench. He looks fine. And then that's it. And then Langford maybe, but I don't want to play Cam Johnson or Taylor Horton-Tucker today. Power forward, it is Tatum. He's going to have to do everything for the team, so I'll probably go Tatum. I probably like Durant a little bit more than Tatum just because I expect the Nets to win pretty easily in this one. And then you can go with a pretty affordable Jay Crowder. You can go Kyle Kuzma. I feel like Kuzma or Crowder, one of the two is going to have a decent game. Kuzma starting for Davis, you would expect. He's not been great this playoffs. He's been missing a lot of shots. The only thing he's been good at is getting you some rebounds and a couple assists. But now that he's most likely going to be playing more minutes here, you can get to him easily if you wanted to at 46. And then, especially with Crowder having a big game, he might get some more ownership than Kuzma today. And then you can side with like Griffin or Carmelo, but they're behind Kuzma and Jay Crowder for me. Over at center, you have Jokic at 10-4. He looks great if you wanted to pay up at center. If not, you can easily go to DeAndre Ayton, who's been hitting 6x value this entire series. It's been awesome. Getting you double-doubles, big rebounding games, big scoring games. I want to get to him as well at $7,400. And then some other cheap centers that we can look to are like Marc Gasol. Just because without Davis, you're not going to be able to play Davis at center for some times like they were the previous games. You'll see Marc Gasol has jumped in front of Montrezl Harrell now. You'll see him play at least low 20s, maybe mid 20s, depending on how Drummond's playing. I expect Drummond and Gasol to basically split all the center minutes because they're not going to be able to play anybody else at center against the Suns, against Ayton. So I think Gasol looks a little bit better just based on the value. If you wanted to save some money, Drummond can also have a big game at $5,200. And then without Robert Williams, you can look to Thompson. But that's it for DraftKings. I like these guys a lot. The Lakers dealing with some injuries, so I don't want to get to them. And then I think the Suns will keep it close. So Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, two of the staples of that offense. Both pretty affordable, especially Chris Paul at only $6,600. And then you got to get to like a guy like Marcus Smart just because he's nicely priced and can maybe get you a double-double. Possibly flirt with a triple-double tonight. So that's it for DraftKings. Let's jump over to FanDuel. All right, FanDuel-wise, point guard plays, you have Damian Lillard at $10,300. You can go cheaper for like a Chris Paul instead at $75,000, or you can go with Campazzo at $6,200 to save some money. Yeah, Pritchard is $45,000, so I don't think I'll get to him at that price tag. Now, Lillard, after coming off a 1 out of 10, you would expect him to step up, but price tag is already kind of high enough to where you need at least 60 out of that sort of price tag. So I might as well just save some money and get to like a Chris Paul. It's the way he's been looking, way he looked last game. Back at home here without Davis. Expected close game between these two teams. Shooting guard, Harden is 11-1. That's going to be tough to get to. I'd rather get to like Devin Booker. Maybe rather get to like Marcus Smart. And then you're looking at value plays between Rivers, Brown, Langford at $3,800. So shooting guard is not particularly deep. I still think Marcus Smart would get you at least mid-30s, possibly into the 40s, just starting at point guard without Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown. Small forward, Michael Porter Jr. is very affordable at only $65,000. He's cheaper than Norman Powell. I know Norman Powell's been looking great last couple games, but Powell still on a good day is a third option behind Lillard and McCollum. And Lillard coming off of a quiet game, you know he's going to be aggressive looking for a shot early. So I'd rather go with Michael Porter, who's been down a little bit recently. He's still the second option to score the ball behind Jokic, and he's only $6,500, so he makes a lot of sense to get to. And then I look to like LeBron or Durant as one of my pay-ups. You have Evan Fournier, looks fine at $55,000 if you wanted to go cheaper. And then for value, it's possibly KCP. Power forward, it is Tatum is 10-8, so he's very expensive, but he's the only pay-up on the slate at power forward. If you're not able to get to Tatum, Definitely look at like Aaron Gordon at 5K, Jay Crowder possibly at 55, and then you can go maybe Blake Griffin at 44. Power forward is pretty ugly. Nothing really looks that appealing. Gordon at least has been doing something offensively. He only played 18 minutes. That game was just a blowout. So before that, he was putting at least low 20s. For a 5K price tag, that's not the worst. Also not great. I might just go with like Jay Crowder and hope that he just shoots the ball wetter. Shoots the ball well like he did last game. And Kuzma is 43 at small forward. You can also plug him in if you wanted to. And then at center, Ayton is 78. Jokic is 10.5. Nurkic is 75. So I like Jokic as my just favorite play at center. Based on price tag, you could side with DeAndre Ayton. I'm not going to pay 7K for Drummond. And then Thompson is also good value. The Marc Gasol is too expensive at 52. So basically the only ones I'm looking at are Thompson, Ayton, and Jokic as my favorites. Possibly Nurkic. We'll see if we get some more news on the slate. But right now, I feel confident that I'll be able to get to a guy like Jokic here at 10.5. Nice price tag. He's been, except for that last game where he couldn't hit a shot. That might be because that game was like early for them. That most of their games have been like late 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock games. That game was like started at 4 Eastern time. So Jokic just maybe wasn't warmed up enough. He was missing shots that he normally hits with ease. I expect Jokic back at home to have a big game and to win this game as well. So that's it for this NBA slate. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll catch you all next time.